Jay Sano without intro music. Jay Sano with intro music. Intro music remix. Jay Sano 19. Jay Sano 19. Jay Sano 19. Jay Sano 19.
Welcome back, everyone.
And we're back, and I'm still in the village.
So we were talking about phones in the last thing. How do you feel about the headphone jack? What's your thoughts?
So I know where you're going with this. Before we get into this village that I found, it's like a water village.
Water village is Atlantis.
Dude, I'm not kidding. There's like what looks like it would be a dock here. The in between the buildings is water. It's
really?
Like this is the craziest thing I have ever seen. I think it's the coolest village I've seen in Minecraft.
Are you sure it's random gen?
Yes. And it's a cross between like a normal village and a desert village, because there's a lot of the buildings are made of the desert material, like a desert village, but then there's like the church in the middle of it that's made purely out of cobblestone. And I don't think it looks like that in a desert village, but I could be wrong. It's really cool. I'm going to bring you over here later because it's really...
Take me on a little journey.
It's really entertaining. But the headphone jack. I personally like the headphone jack because I use the headphone jack. I also personally like the concept of having wireless headphones. But at the same time, wireless headphones need to be recharged.
Oh, so, yeah, I didn't even think about the whole recharging problem.
So that's where I'm like, getting rid of a headphone jack, I guess in general, in my opinion, not a terrible deal, because you have other abilities to use wireless headphones with it. The problem is you lose that ability completely if your wireless headphones need to be charged.
I literally had not thought about the fact that you have to charge your headphones if they're wireless.
Why were you going to say screw the wireless or screw the headphone jack? You're all.
I mean, I use my headphone jack all the time because if I'm on a plane, my phone normally needs to be charged. Like if I'm on like a 6-hour flight or something, then my phone's not going to last. I mean, the battery links on phones just aren't very long, as everyone knows. And so for me, I like to charge my phone, and I can't charge my phone and plug my headphone in. And so, like, I mean, because they make dongles or whatever where you can still plug your headphones in. I don't like wireless headphones at all. Like, I think there's nothing I like about them. Like the sound quality is not as good over Bluetooth as everyone says. But I mean, even it's comparable. So it's not like, oh, I'm just this big soundophile, if that's even a word.
Soundophile.
Sure, it's not. Yeah, I don't know. I'm real bitter about it. Like I don't know what to do, because like I was thinking about getting the Pixel, and then they did the same damn thing.
So you can't get an iPhone, you can't get a Pixel, have to go to older Android.
I mean, I can, but they're gonna probably do the same thing too.
So the one nice thing about getting rid of it is it helps keep the phone waterproof.
Okay.
That's about all I can say.
I hadn't considered that.
I mean, I guess I don't know why they're getting rid of it. Is it that it actually costs that much more to utilize and they don't, or to install? And does the potential of installing a headphone jack cause that many more potential problems with the phone, and therefore it is actually going to make?
I think they're just fucking around. Better. Honestly, that's my true opinion of it all.
I think so. They're just fucking.
I think
around.
they're just like, what can we got to change something. We got to innovate. How can we change? We're gonna innovate.
But why do you think the Pixel following suit with what the iPhone's already done is innovate?
I'm not sure about that.
Because I was gonna say the iPhone got pretty bad reviews for having done that already, right? Just like when they took away the replaceable battery.
Did iPhones ever have a replaceable battery? No.
No, I don't know.
No. They never did.
Okay, there is another village, right? Like I can see from this village. This is the craziest thing ever.
So, do the new Notes and stuff not have replaceable batteries?
I don't know about the Notes. My phone still has a replaceable battery, I think. I haven't actually tried to replace it now. I'm opening it up. I'm taking it out of the case as we speak. Learning on the fly, folks. Learning on the fly. I take that back. I cannot take the back cover off of my phone.
Because I know my Note
Oh yeah, that's
3.
right. I did figure that out. Yeah, I can't replace the battery on my phone anymore either. And I have or excuse me, not a Note, a Galaxy S7.
I guess I just assumed that those you could still replace the battery in.
Nope.
I didn't realize that that was the thing that went away as well. I don't understand why they changed that either. Is it like the whole light bulb thing?
I mean, it might be. I have a feeling it's like a cost thing.
Huh.
It also
I thought it was so they can sell more phones.
Well,
like your battery eventually dies. Instead of buying a new battery, you have to get a new phone.
I guess maybe. I guess it definitely could be that, but
You in the overworld? Or
I am in the overworld. You know what? I did just find a bunch of sheep. I was gonna say I don't have a bed, but I found a bunch of sheep. So let me kill enough of them to get some wool. Of course, he left his wool upstairs. Zombie, hold on. Wait a minute, I'm fighting the husk here. I lost my shield? Oh, I took my shield out of my offhand. That was weird. Whoa, Jesus Christ. I turned around, there was a pumpkin in my face.
Did y'all get a lot of trick-or-treaters?
We apparently had 2.
Huh.
Yeah, actually, we didn't know. We didn't live, or see, we did live in this house last year, but we were at a Halloween party on Halloween. So it was the first year we were in the house, and we weren't around. The old house we moved from, we used to get a lot of trick-or-treaters. But
See, I would assume, like, all the streets in DC would just be filled with children.
I think there's certain streets that people go to more that are more like the... Oh, there's monsters nearby. I gotta kill somebody and then I can sleep. I think there's still some areas like mine, you know, is not the most, you know, super friendly, lovely area in the world. Whereas the old house that we had that was right down the street from here is in a spot that's okay. I'm in bed. Is in a spot where it is much more family oriented / friendly.
I see. I didn't realize you guys were in a bad neighborhood.
Yeah, we're in. So then that's the thing is we're kind of not in a bad neighborhood, but we still are. We're like on the outskirts of the area that's really 10 years ago. Our neighborhood, like, the fire station down the street. My fire chief at my volunteer station, because my fire chief at my volunteer station is also a career DC firefighter, and he used to work at the station down the street from where we live. And when I told him where I bought a house, he thought I was freaking insane. But he hasn't worked there in 10 years. But he thought I was absolutely insane for ever buying a house in this neighborhood. He doesn't realize how much has changed since then. DC's like turned around really quick in some of the shittier areas.
I guess seeing what goes on in your back alleyway, though.
Yeah, and Julia was very angry today because apparently she left to go pick up our CSA at like 4:30 and got back by 5, and both times she had to honk and make somebody move their car because they were blocking the driveway.
Yeah, so for people that don't know, like, Jeff has a garage door that doesn't have a garage.
You find this so funny that we have.
I do. Door. This is I've never seen anything like it, and I'm sure it's super
it's a freestanding garage door, and they're meant for houses like row houses in places like DC that, you know.
Right. Like I said, I'm sure it's super common. Like, I'm sure I'm one of the few people that's never seen one.
The look on your face when I told you about how we had the garage door installed, and you're like, "Oh, you had a garage put in," and I'm like, "No. We had a garage door
just
installed."
a door."
And you were so confused.
Yeah, you're like, "You'll see." Like, okay, I'll see.
So confused.
Yeah. Then when I saw it, I was like,
You're like, I see it, but I don't believe it. I don't believe this is real.
And why, actually? I guess that's my next question. Why not just park back there? Why do you need a door? What's the door do?
It protects it from people coming and breaking the back. So we moved in here, and within a week, we had 2 bikes stolen out of the back of the back deck.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They were chained up too. It's not like they were just sitting there. They were chained up as well. It's still a neighborhood. Even if it's a better neighborhood, there's still theft that happens in DC in general. But
I guess that's kind of what I was about to talk about. Is so Jeff has these people. There's this alleyway behind his house, and people just hang out there.
Yep. So they apparently used to hang out 2 streets over, 2 alleys over, I should say, where I don't know if one of the guys used to own a house there or something, and they would all hang out in that alley, but somebody else owns the house now and apparently complained to the police enough times that they're no longer allowed to hang out in that alley, so they've somehow just congregate over in ours. And I think part of it is because we have the luxury of having a big alley. It's not just a 1-car wide alley, which in DC you typically have like this 10-foot alley, and it's pretty much only big enough for, 1 lane. We have a 20-foot alley, so it's a double-laned alley, so people can come and just park and block all the driveways out and not think twice of it, and you can
Should y'all complain to the police?
I think she might have today, because today really pissed her off, the fact that she had somebody move, and then when she got back within a half an hour later, somebody was blocking it again to hang out with that same group of people. So I'll say, for the most part, as long as they're pretty receptive to moving, all the people, because they're hanging out back there in the alley. So if you just roll on in and you like beep your horn and point as you're either driving by or you park next to it and like point, they will come and like move the car. When you were actually here this weekend, that was the longest I watched it take somebody to actually come move the car. It almost seems like he wanted to finish his conversation first before he felt like moving. And that is normally not the case. I don't know how they were today. So at first I get mad when I see them there, and then I'm kind of like, okay, you know what? As long as they're receptive to moving, because they know that they're blocking and they do it timely and stuff, it's not that big of a deal, but it's still annoying. So we haven't really complained.
What I guess I don't understand is like, this is like homeless behavior in my mind.
And
like,
well, I would say some of them I think would be, but obviously most of them aren't, because they drive and they drive
they don't look like homeless people. Yeah. So why don't they go home?
Why would they when they can hang out in the alley?
But that's the whole thing. And there's so many luxuries that we've put inside of our houses these days, like televisions and refrigerators.
Well, and you guys got to understand, like, the way you're describing this and the fact that I know what you're talking about, people might not get. We're not talking like teenagers. These people they're like between their 30s and 50s hanging out there. Yeah, it's not like young kids because they live at home with their parents, and this is their...
I'm glad you actually said that, because I think that would have been a thing where it's like, well, yeah, this is what kids do. These aren't kids. Yeah,
because I know when I was a kid, we used to hang out at because you didn't want to be at your house, hanging out there. You just you hang out at the mall, you hang out at, we all worked at McDonald's, like a lot of us worked at McDonald's, so we'd go hang out and take over the lobby of McDonald's some nights for hours just to sit and bullshit and talk. And how stupid does that sound? Like, why are these kids all hanging out at McDonald's all night? But we were kids and had nowhere else to really go.
Right.
So yeah,
that was the weirdest thing I've seen.
I don't know. I really definitely hope it stops, because it is kind of annoying. And I'll tell you, when we were getting what's one of the reasons we did get the garage installed, because I'm not saying it was that group of people that took the bikes, but they easily have access. They know when everybody's coming in and out of there, because they hang out in the alley all day long. Right, they can just sit there and watch and know
every in and out, every goings on.
Right. Yeah. So it's kind of scary to be like, these people who are hanging out with access know when I'm here and when I'm not here, because they see when I leave and when I, don't. They know how many people live in this house, because they've seen us day in and day out, coming in and out of here. And I'm hoping, but this is just more optimism, I'm hoping beyond hoping that maybe this happens to be a group of people that's going to see something bad happening at my house when I'm not here and step up and be like, wait, this doesn't look right. I'm not saying that I'm optimistic.
I'm not convinced of that.
That's really going to happen. But you never know. Like, they could be like, hey, wait a minute here. Like, those people aren't the people that live here that are at the back door right now, like smashing it with a hammer. Maybe we should do something about this. So I did go get soul sand now.
Give them a hand while they're unloading all your shit. But you need a hand with that?
What are you doing? You need to come with me and see this village, because I think you will be just as shocked as I am.
Okay, just give me a second. I'm just placing some blocks over here by the farm.
But yeah, I definitely wish that that was not the way it was in our alley, because it's definitely annoying to have to deal with. But like they're, besides the fact that you can hear them cussing extremely loudly sometimes when they're telling stories and talking to each other, like, but I cuss loudly as well. Whenever I walk back in the alley or drive by, they always wave. They always seem respectful. So they could have been much worse people to be hanging out in the alley at all times. I mean, personality-wise. Because who knows what they're really doing during the day. Maybe they are the ones breaking into everybody's houses. Maybe they're people trying to stop that from happening. I don't know, because, you know, can guarantee nothing, but...
Alright, I'm coming back home.
I mean, what would you do if some people were just hanging out in your alley all the time? You probably don't, what would you do if people started just parking construction equipment in your yard?
I'd just make a video about it.
Where are you? Oh, there.
Maybe you should do that. Maybe you should just go into the alleyway. Like, here I am in my alley.
This is my alley. Wave, guys. Oh, by the way, one of you guys move your car because I'm trying to drive somewhere.
Driving here.
Yeah. I mean, I should, but that's when you step on the problem. Are you coming?
Yeah, I needed some food.
Oh, it was like as I got into the portal, I just watched you stop. You're like, this guy's scary. Where's he taking me? So this way, around this corner, up here.
You're gonna say you would, if you did that, you'd run into the problem of.
Oh, you run into the problem of, do you want to piss off the people that are out there all the time because they are the ones that have the quote unquote access and everything. But when we were putting our garage door installed, one of the guys randomly, and this kind of made me feel like a little weird. He was just like, oh yeah, get one of those garage doors installed. And it was just when I was taking out the trash one day. And I was like, excuse me? And he was like, oh yeah, I saw some of those guys coming in, the garage door people come in and measure it. And he was like, yeah, that's cool. Why are you getting one of those put up? And I was like, for some privacy and security. And he was like, oh yeah, cool. And I was just like, why the fuck are you talking to me about this right now? Like, you're the random guy hanging out in the alley questioning why I'm getting the garage door installed. Like,
I mean, they hang out in the alley to talk, and so maybe he was in a lull. He
just wanted something to talk about. Maybe he was actually trying to bring me into the fold. He was
right. You could have become an alleyman with him.
Come on, become an alley guy with us. I mean, I'll be honest. If I lived here alone, I'd probably be hanging out with. I'd walk out there one day with like a 6-pack and be like, "What's up, guys?"
What's going on? Yeah. So do they drink and stuff back there?
There's always empty cans in a box like the next day I see, but I never actually see them sitting back there and drinking. It doesn't mean, but I also don't watch them, so I'm not saying that they're hiding it if they do. I just don't.
You should get a camera back there. Make a whole series.
I should be careful. Hold on.
The alleyman.
The alleyman.
You could do voiceovers. I don't recommend it.
I also do not recommend voiceovers. We're going to this portal.
That'd be fantastic, though. You just have to make sure your voices are very respectful. Give them no
good day,
tone at all.
They're all gonna have British accents.
Right. Yeah.
Why, righty-o.
Good day, mate. I don't know why. That's not really British, but he's Australian.
That would be an interesting. We could call it the Men of the Alley, like something more intriguing than alleymen.
Yeah.
Time.
Did it get dark when I came over? Sure did.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I
have a bed.
You have a sword. You have a bed? You said?
I do. Yeah.
I don't. But is there wool in here? My bed's in the other village. Oh yeah, I can just go back in the nether. You're right. If you got a bed. The Men of the Alley.
God, I bet
it'll be a documentary. It'll be like, here they are in their natural habitat, the alley.
I think you could give them all like stories and stuff, and there could be like drama that happens, and
I'm sure there is drama that happens. Like you can hear them like sometimes, like yelling about the drama that happens.
So DC is one of the places that you can record people without their permission, and as well.
I'm not 100% certain that's true. I'd have to look up the law, but you got to remember, all my recording stuff, if anything that's on public property is you can record anybody in that case. Here it is, this way.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Yeah. If you're doing something in public property, you're expected. There's an expectation that you could be recorded because of the fact that you are on public property, and all my cameras are on my property, so you can't even say that I'm like recording in an area that I'm not allowed to be recording in.
God, I really want this Alleyman series now. I wish I had an Alleyman.
So yeah, I want to see your impression when you come up to this village.
You want to see my face?
Yeah. Like, for one, are all these buildings an actual desert building? And for two, like, they literally are in the middle of the water.
Yeah, it just spawned weird, but the paths always spawn as a part of it. So these aren't docks; these are just the stupid paths.
But look at this path. I
know.
know.
Yeah,
I know. It's not.
It just ended.
I said it could be. I said it could be a dock, but it's like this. How cool is this village?
It's a cool village. It's a really cool village. I'll agree.
Okay, you're not nearly as excited about my village. So if
I guess I'm just so used to Minecraft doing stupid things like this.
Look at this guy. This guy's just like meditating in the water. He's like,
I'm so impressed with this
guy. He's like, yeah.
He probably can't get out of there. He's probably stuck there.
He might be. That's where he lives now. But is this a desert temple building?
Yeah, I don't think there's a desert church. I think the church is always that.
It's just the standard old church.
Cobble church. How ugly is that? Like, how is it that they designed that? How is it that made it as the thing?
So back when they designed villages for the first time, they didn't have any of the smooth stone blocks. Well, I guess they could have made it out of standard stone for decoration, but they didn't have
like stairs and stuff to kind of pretty up the corners, and like there's things that could have been done, man.
Did they even have stairs then? I guess
they had stairs.
I don't know.
Stairs existed as long as I've played this game, I think.
I don't know if that's true.
I think it is. I think there was always stairs. Not always, but I mean, there's been stairs for a really long time.
Okay, well, I dragged you all the way out here for that, so you weren't that impressed, but there it is. You saw.
I was so impressed. Could you not hear it in my voice?
I could see it in your face. Best of all.
I was still thinking about Alleyman.
It's gonna be part of your Alleyman backstory.
What's that over there?
It's another village. There's another village over there. Like, look at that. There's one building way up on the side of that mountain.
Yeah, see, that one's way cooler to me.
I'm
more impressed with this village.
See, this is the one I slept in the last time. I put my bed on one of the houses.
You're bragging. I slept there.
Yeah, I slept there. You think it's cool? I slept there. I was there once. I'm like Christopher Columbus to this village. The guy who came in and stole it from them.
Yeah, I like this one farm that's like way up high over there.
I think it's funny that when these villages spawn, if they spawn unevenly, like it puts a big dirt tunnel, like
a
big I find that very strange. Like, why would the village itself not just spawn and then it would build the terrain around it? Versus...
Right. Like, this shit right here is really cool to me. The way it dug inside this mountain for this farm.
Yeah. This is the village I met. The one you think was really cool. Yeah, this one. This one's it. I'm trying to impress.
You're right. It's a cool village, Jeff.
Yeah. Thank you. I made it myself or something. I mean, I think it's cool that there's this mountain village next to the
water village.
The water village.
What's cool about the water village too is that it's a desert village, so it's like a desert on the water. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. But this is also the other thing I wanted to show you is this is how we can get to sand, because this is like our closest sand.
Oh yeah. Good.
So now you just got to go back to the temple. I'm actually gonna go check out this swamp and see if there's like a witch's hut or anything in it. A beef wanted a swamp? Oh, do you have any iron on you?
No.
You neither, because beef wanted us to get some vines, and I can go get them. I just need some iron to do so. Let's see if there's any in this. There's an iron helmet and an iron booties.
You know, you can turn iron into nuggets now.
You can?
Yeah, you can take iron stuff and smelt it, and it turns into nuggets.
Really? Let's test.
It takes 9 nuggets to make a bar, though. So that wouldn't be enough.
How many nuggets is it going to turn this helmet into?
Probably only one, I believe.
Oh shit! Are you serious?
I think so.
I'm gonna find out. It's just an iron helmet. It's not like it's.
Those little cave over here.
Yep, one iron nuggets.
I have a bunch of iron now.
Oh, I just need 2 so I can get some.
I'm bringing it to you.
I'm actually gonna raid the books out of this village too. Can't. Nope. Never mind. Can't do it. There's a building without a door. Never mind. I found the door. I'm blind. I guess what would you do if you lived in my situation? Would you say anything to people?
I could not live there. There's so many other things that would prevent me from living there.
I mean, I get that, but
like, so it's like one of those things where I can't even understand how to live where you live.
I can't understand how to live.
Like, I mean, it sounds like I'm being an asshole to some degree. Like, your living conditions are all subpar. I don't mean like that. I couldn't live in a city. First off.
I get you. I moving from Michigan when I grew up on 10 acres, and then I moved to some apartments. I didn't even like apartments because that was too close to other people. Because in apartments you are. And moving to the city, I didn't think I was gonna last for the 3-year contract or through nursing school, and then through the 3-year contract that I had at the hospital. And it's been so many more than that at this point. It's kind of strange. It's something that it somewhat grows on you, like because there's aspects of city life I enjoy now that I did not before.
Right.
But I would still prefer country. But I would miss some things about the city now that I wouldn't have, when I first moved here. That I never thought I would miss. I actually remember I kept my license, my Michigan license for a year as a student before I actually switched it over because I was like, okay, screw it. If I actually have to be here for the next at least, 3 years, I might as well get my DC license like I'm supposed to. And that hurt me on the inside. Like when I walked away from the DMV with a license for DC, I was like, oh, this is like, I feel like I just sold part of myself.
Fully committed now.
Yeah. It's fun. But
yeah, I don't know. I definitely would not say anything to them. No.
But you love London though, right?
I like visiting London a lot.
Didn't you used to talk about wanting to move to London? Like, if you ever moved anywhere, didn't you say it'd be London?
Yeah, okay, I've said those words.
So, I mean,
but I couldn't do it.
I guess what is different about London? Because London's a city. Granted, there's country-er places, but probably not like what you're used to.
Something about it's different. I don't know how. I mean, something. I don't know.
It's metric, sort of. It's sort of metric.
I don't know. Maybe it's just the experiences that I've had there. I feel like, but yeah, I mean, I would still get tired of so many people being all around all the time, for sure. But at the same time, it feels like, even like when I go to like the tourist spots, it feels like you have room to breathe. And and everyone seems nice. And I don't feel like I've experienced that at Washington or in like New York. Like either of those times I've been.
I don't think anybody's ever tried to tell you you'd experience that in Washington or New York. That's the one thing I know about Washington and New York. Everybody's so nice.
So yeah, I think that's a big part of it. Is just how nice everyone is, and everyone. I don't know what goes on in London. It's weird because the bars all stop at like 11 or something, right? Like it's like this early time. And everyone's drinking beer too. Like you talk about, like you say you want like a Long Island, they look at you like you are a strange man that drinks much alcohol. But everyone's drinking beer all damn day long. Like literally, you go to lunch and everyone's got a beer. So there's something weird that I just don't understand about London.
About the culture, the London culture. I mean, maybe just start drinking some beer, and it will come to you.
Well, I can't. That's the problem.
So you just can't. That's gonna be like on your moving to London paperwork. Do you drink beer? Nope. No, rejected.
You probably.
I rubber banded like crazy just now.
That's probably because I loaded out of the nether. But there's a lot of drinking that goes on in London. starting very early.
I guess I didn't know that everything closed early in London.
Yeah, all the bars, like it doesn't feel like there's a nightlife. And it's funny because you'll be on the tube and like there's all these posters and it's like London, the city that doesn't sleep. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What part of London is that because I've missed it. And maybe people can tell me that I'm missing out. But I've been with lots of people there, different people over different times. And none of them have ever taken me anywhere where there's like this nightlife that's happening past a certain point. I guess on the weekends, like on Friday and Saturday, it's a little bit better. You say you're in the bed?
Yeah. Me too. Perfect. I guess I've never heard of that London is or is not a big party scene.
I mean, it feels like there's always a party going on, but you got to be in bed at a certain time. You got to pregame. You got to start game. That's why everyone's drinking at lunch. They know they ain't got time.
That's when they start.
Yeah.
They've learned the system. They understand it. That's the way I came from.
But I mean, London's another one of those places that, of course, it's a big city, so it's super expensive to live there. So I would never want. I guess I'm spoiled a little bit. Like I would never want to live somewhere where you have to pay $3,000 a month in rent. And that's probably low. I'm probably speaking insanely low numbers.
Yeah, probably. So what is it that is about London that has you so intrigued to think that would be a place that you'd want? And granted, you probably would never do it, and you, like you said, you probably couldn't do it. But what is it about London that is so different? Besides just you can find nice people at places that aren't in Europe.
I've never found a place like London. London has been. I've never enjoyed myself. And just walking around, there's I've never had one thing. I think this is probably a big thing. I've never once had a bad meal in London that I chose. Now, their curse managed to fuck that over a little bit. But other than that, that's the only time I've ever been served food where I was displeased. And actually, was that in London? That wasn't it?
Yeah, that was in London. That was right by the convention center.
And that was in London, yeah. That's the only bad mouthful I've ever consumed in London. But I've never had a bad meal, basically. So that's part of it. Like the food there is all right up my alley.
Fish and chips.
No,
for every meal.
And I think that's kind of like when people go to Philadelphia. Not everyone's eating Philly cheesesteaks.
I will say, when we were in London, I ate a bunch of fish and chips because I wanted to find the best fish and chips, and it was all eh.
Yeah. I think that's one of those things where you're not. Yeah, I agree. I think I make the best fish and chips.
Where did we go the last night we were in London for Minecraft a couple of years ago when we got those like weird stews?
Stews.
Yeah, we ordered like these. It was like a family style restaurant, and we ordered like.
We had like the braised lamb or whatever too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the name of that place. That was good though.
Yeah.
See, there's just so much good food there, and the tourism is good. They have women have a thing for American accents. Like,
wait, you think that's true?
Oh, I know it's true.
Wait, what?
I've been told it so many times while there. All those times, unfortunately, I was not single.
What? I didn't know that was a thing. Wait,
yeah,
does that mean like, what about, you think Australians have a thing for American accents too? Because I have a thing for the Australian accent. Does it make it easy just to go to Australia and it's like the best of both worlds?
It might. I don't know. You should try.
Yes, I'm sure the wife would be happy with that.
Oh, yeah, okay. Maybe you shouldn't try. You do you. Try or don't try.
I've never heard that Australians, London women have a thing for American accents.
Maybe I've just ran into a few of them. These were also at Minecraft parties, so. But to be fair, 3 of the girls this one night.
Well, they really liked that American accent, huh?
They didn't know who Minecraft was.
Girls that one night.
Yeah, it was at this party we held. It was like a meet and greet, and like they just kept on and on about my accent. And meanwhile, there was these 2 guys that were there actually for the meet and greet, so they knew who I was, and they just were on and on about this my fucking accent. And I was like trying to play wingman for these other 2 guys because they were trying to pick them up, and I kept telling these girls, I'm like, you want to know the biggest pickup line in America? And they're like, oh, please tell me. And I was like, you ever heard of Minecraft? And I just kept repeating it over and over. And they were like, oh, really? I can't believe it. I don't know if they believed me. They never heard of Minecraft. So they didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. But yeah, they just kept like, will you please just say some more things to us?
That is the weirdest thing. I did not have that experience when I was in London.
Maybe it's my accent. Maybe it's not just any American accent. You have to have the right American accent.
Well, see, so you do have a little bit of an accent to me, but very, very mild accent to me. Whereas I do find it funny because people, when I moved out to Virginia area when the first time I moved out here, I kept being told that I had this Michigan accent, and I don't feel, because that's where I grew up, that there is a such thing as a Michigan accent, but it's all about drawing out the A's a little bit differently. So it's like very subtle differences that I can hear in the Virginian, DC native accent as well. You also very subtle differences I hear in your accent, but there are places in the world or in America that have hugely different accents.
Yeah,
I wouldn't put you in that category. I think if you and I were somewhere foreign, that people would think we had the exact same accent because we're similar enough to each other. Whereas they would tell the difference between like you and somebody from Texas or somebody from Southern Alabama or something like that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah. I mean, even around here, I don't really know what my accent is. I think maybe it's because I've moved so much that I didn't pick up any strong particular accent, and it like fluctuated as I moved. But like here in North Carolina, there's a few towns around here where people in those towns have their own accent. It's just really weird because it's like there's not that much distance between them. I don't know.
They have their own accents.
Like
Everybody makes up an accent. That is what you have for life.
Anyways, we've gone way past time. I meant to say that a minute ago, and then I forgot. It's like 36 minutes now, so we gotta get out of here.
Okay, guys. Yeah, we'll see you next time. That's my new accent. I'm gonna have. I don't even know what it was, but it was an accent. All right, see you.
Bye.